Most people think the Kardashians became famous by accident. But in 2007, when a private scandal exploded into headlines, Kris Jenner turned disaster into design, locking a 45% stake in the biggest reality TV launch and scripting every move with surgical precision. Critics say they are famous for nothing, yet no true empire survives that long by chance. So what blueprint turned a family crisis into a billion-dollar business? And who really pulled the strings? That story starts here. In February 2007, Kim Kardashian's private life detonated across tabloid headlines. TMZ, Perez Hilton, and every gossip site ran the story non-stop. For most families, that kind of scandal would have meant retreat, damage control, lawyers, silence. But the Kardashians did the opposite. Instead of hiding, they became a national obsession overnight. Paparazzi camped outside their Calabasas home. Late-night hosts cracked jokes. Search engines lit up with their names. Every magazine wanted an interview. The story was everywhere, but the headlines were not the end. They were the beginning. While critics called it a 15-minute flameout, Kris Jenner saw an opening. She pitched a reality show to the E! Network and Ryan Seacrest Productions, leveraging the tabloid storm as proof that America was already watching. Executives moved fast. By October 14, 2007, Keeping Up with the Kardashians hit the airwaves. The premiere drew 390,000 viewers, nothing compared to later seasons, but enough to prove the family had staying power. Suddenly, the Kardashians weren't just tabloid fodder. They were network property, a brand in motion. Every camera flash, every headline, every awkward interview became raw material. The urgency was real. Either take control or stay trapped as a punchline. The family chose control. They leaned into the chaos, turned it into a platform, and made it clear that scandal was not the story's end. It was only the door. The real work started the moment the world tuned in. Kris Jenner didn't just sign away her family's privacy. She negotiated terms that flipped the power dynamic. When the E! Network picked up Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kris secured a 45% ownership stake for the family, far above the typical reality television deal. That meant every episode, every rerun, every international sale sent nearly half the profits home. On top of that, Kris took a 10% manager's fee from each of her children's earnings, turning Jenner Communications into a family headquarters and herself into a chief executive officer in all but name. The show wasn't just filmed, it was produced by the family. Scenes were mapped out in advance, with Kris guiding what would become public and what would remain off-camera. Family meetings doubled as production sessions, where storylines were shaped to maximize both drama and relatability. This wasn't accidental chaos. It was planned intimacy. Every argument, every reconciliation, every launch. These moments were curated for maximum impact, not just on ratings, but on the family's growing portfolio of brands. Insiders describe Kris as relentless, always pushing for more control and a bigger share. She treated headlines as raw material, not threats. According to media scholar Dr. Jennifer Posner, reality television like Keeping Up with the Kardashians blurred the line between authenticity and performance, making viewers feel close to the family while driving merchandise sales. Under Kris's blueprint, the Kardashians weren't just the stars, they became the operators, using their own lives as the engine of a business that would soon outgrow television. Kim Kardashian did not just ride the wave of early fame. She built a platform beneath it, brick by brick. The real pivot came when she stopped relying on outside gatekeepers and started creating her own channels for influence. In 2014, a game called Kim Kardashian Hollywood launched on the App Store. The game pulled in $76 million in its first year alone, with Kim taking home a hefty share. That kind of direct-to-fan revenue was rare for reality stars at the time. She was not just licensing her image, she was learning how to own it. 3 years later, Kim introduced KW Beauty. The launch brought in $14 million in just the first few hours, and by 2021, the brand had grown so valuable that Kim sold a 20% stake to Coty for $200 million, putting its valuation near $1 billion. These were not quick cash-ins. Each move showed a deeper understanding of contracts, equity, and leverage. Kim's path was not about being everywhere at once. It was about building the right infrastructure so that every headline, every product, every post could be turned into lasting ownership. And with each success, the learning curve got shorter and the plays got faster. Kylie Jenner didn't just inherit an audience, she converted it into a cash machine. In November 2015, she launched Kylie Lip Kits online with a single Instagram post and a Shopify checkout. The first 20,000 units sold out in hours, crashing the website and sparking a frenzy that spread across social media. Every drop after that played the same game: limited inventory, countdown hype, direct-to-fan sales. By the end of the first month, Kylie Cosmetics had pulled in $29 million. In just 18 months, the brand hit $420 million in revenue, numbers that left legacy beauty companies scrambling to catch up. The magic wasn't just the product. It was the formula of scarcity, social proof, and relentless teasing. Followers watched every restock, every shade reveal, every behind-the-scenes snap. By 2019, the numbers were too big to ignore. Coty, a global beauty giant, paid $600 million for a 51% stake, valuing Kylie Cosmetics at $1.2 billion. Kylie didn't just dominate a market, she rewrote the rules for how influence turns into ownership and how digital attention becomes real money overnight. Khloe built her reputation on raw honesty, never shying away from public scrutiny over her body, relationships, or setbacks. When she launched Good American in 2016, she did not just release another celebrity denim line. She promised sizing for every body, and the gamble paid off. Good American pulled in $1 million in sales on its very first day, a number that stunned the fashion industry and silenced skeptics who doubted her business instincts. The brand's message of inclusivity was not just marketing, it was a direct response to years of criticism and comparison. Khloe's vulnerability turned into a loyal customer base, with annual sales now reaching $200 million. Kendall took a different route. She entered the world of high fashion in 2014, where accusations of nepotism followed her at every turn. Instead of firing back, she kept her head down and worked runway after runway. Between 2015 and 2018, Kendall walked in over 80 shows, from New York to Paris, building credibility through consistency. Casting directors and designers took notice, not just of her last name, but of her discipline. While Khloe connected through relatability, Kendall proved herself in an industry that rarely forgives shortcuts. Both sisters show that inside the Kardashian system, there is more than one way to convert attention into lasting influence. Behind the scenes, the Kardashian-Jenner operation runs on data as much as drama. The family tracks engagement using internal dashboards that pull from tools like Social Blade, mapping spikes and drops in real time. Every major event, whether a product launch or a headline scandal, shows up as a measurable surge. In 2016, a single controversy added over 2 million Instagram followers in less than a week. Their combined reach now tops 1.55 billion across platforms, a scale more common to global corporations than reality stars. Decision rules are built on numbers, provoke when attention dips, go silent when outrage peaks, and time product drops to coincide with the highest engagement. One public relations practitioner summed it up this way: outrage is fuel, and silence is strategy. These are not gut calls. They are calculated moves, repeated and refined until the results are nearly predictable. Skims reached a $3.2 billion valuation in 2023, cementing Kim Kardashian's place in the upper tier of American entrepreneurs. The family's Hulu contract brought in $100 million, keeping their lives and their brands on screen and in constant conversation. But the money is not just in headlines or social posts. Kylie Cosmetics faced a major lawsuit from Seed Beauty in 2019 over trade secrets, settling quietly while the brand continued to grow. Earlier, the Kardashian collection at Sears drew fire in 2011 for alleged sweatshop labor in Mexico. Workers reported long hours and low pay, sparking criticism of celebrity licensing. Media scholars point out that the family's business model blurs the line between personal narrative and commerce, raising questions about what is sacrificed when attention becomes the product. Every deal, every controversy adds to the bottom line, but not without cost. Fame is now an engineered commodity, measured in clicks and calculated in real time. The Kardashians aren't just a family. They are a template for future influence, studied by brands and watched by billions. In a world obsessed with attention, those who master the algorithm shape the culture. Drop your thoughts below.